You know something, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we can never have nice things. Pokemon World's 2024 store revealed, but scalpers are leaving shelves empty. Let's waste no more time and let's get to talking about this. Attendees at the Pokemon Center pop-up for Worlds 2024 are leaving empty-handed and disappointed, as many have already cleared the shelves of the available merchandise. Hordes of competitors, influencers, and fans are descending on Honolulu in Hawaii for the Pokemon World Championships 2024 happening August 16th to 18th this year. Here, the best Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Go, and trading card game players are fighting to be the very best, like no one ever was. Okay, I had to throw in a bit of a pun there to make you guys laugh. Let me know in the comments down below if it did. But anyways, let's keep going here. Just like other years, alongside huge halls ready for competitors to duke it out, Pokemon Worlds 2024 also houses an enormous Pokemon Center filled with exclusive merch and exciting items that any attendees can grab until they're gone and until you can't. However, grabbing any merch at all may be tough, as it seems eager attendees are grabbing everything on the shelves as soon as they can, leaving others with very little to buy or none at all, unfortunately. The Pokemon Center uses a ticket system to ease traffic flow, so instead of buyers flooding the store at once, people get an allocated time slot and must queue until the right time, so they can wait for their ticket to be called. But the people lucky enough to get early slots are leaving very little for anyone arriving later. Some pictures coming out of Honolulu show the Pokemon Center store shelves completely cleared of merchandise, leaving some left with nothing to buy. Ex-user Simply AVG Gamer shared a photo of some empty shelves, a comment explaining that it was the current state of the Pokemon Center. And this right here is the tweet in question with the images that are thrown up for you guys to see. And you can just see for yourself how disappointing and how sad that site truly is. And look it, this right here is far from the first time that Pokemon has had a scalping issue, and this right here is just another rehash of that selfish type of bullshit. Backing this up, ex-user Random Ellen shared their own experience, saying they arrived at the Pokemon Center at 2 p.m., but that the store was already sold out of the lanyards, ukulele, backpacks, skateboards, sleeves, deck box, and play mats. What in the ever-loving fuck, man? Holy shit. You know, there should honestly be, like, a limit as to what you can buy and how much of it you can buy. There's gotta be some type of quantity cap that these stores need to enforce, so that way it reduces the chance of things like this happening. Another user quoted a fellow fan's Pokemon Center haul, quote-unquote, saying that the post made them so sad to see the Pokemon Center wiped out of exclusive merch before Worlds even began. And see, that's also another thing, is that Worlds hasn't even begun yet, and there's already this shit happening. Then, in another quote of the huge haul, one person called out the person buying multiple versions of items, like the deck boxes, pure greed, before another person below shared the items listed on eBay. They say that for the deck boxes, MSRP is like $12.99, but the eBay listing started at $72.99 instead. Yes, this shit is making its way on eBay for a massively inflated price. Like, aside from outing yourself as a shit greedy individual, you also out yourself as an individual that seemingly doesn't give a flying fuck about ruining the experiences of countless other people that just wanted to have a simple little piece of merchandise that is exclusive to this event. So, good job there, Jackass Supreme. We ourselves Sunny here saying, this makes me so sad. Worlds hasn't even started, and I've seen pics of the Pokemon Center wiped out of all the exclusive merch. Meanwhile, this guy is rocking 15 plus deck boxes that will probably be resold for astronomical prices. This is just selfish, and as we see here, this is in quote tweeted response to Matthew Tam, who says Pokemon Center Haul with an image, as you can see much larger on screen. What the fuck, man? Why do you feel the need to buy all of that shit and leave nothing behind for any other customers that are even lucky enough to make it to this event and just wanted to have a piece of merchandise to remember the event by? A competitor called Gazzoni was one of many comments on X, sharing this was the 6th World Championships they've attended. Damn, that's quite a few they have under their belt there. Nice. They described their time so far as the absolute worst Pokemon Center experience I've had. God dang. However, they are not blaming the Pokemon Center, instead calling out scalpers. They report that there are people sitting on the ground reselling merch in the store. What? What? Are you kidding me? So just like right there out in the open, like, can you say unapologetic much? Like, goddamn, it's like, there's absolutely no dignity when it comes to this either. Like, no dignity, no respect for others, no self-respect even, no self-awareness. Like, can you get much lower than that? Holy fuck, man. While comments are sharing reports that the Pokemon store will restock each day, it is clear some attendees with later appointments are leaving frustrated and empty-handed. Other comments are calling for purchase limits on certain items to discourage further scalping. That's kind of what I suggested earlier in the video. Like, there's gotta be some type of threshold. There's gotta be some type of limit in terms of how many products that you can buy. Like, I'll be honest, like, considering that this has been a problem before, they should have thought ahead about this sort of thing. But at the same time, we can't fully blame the Pokemon Center as they are just doing their job. But really the people to blame out of all of this are those scalpers, the ones that have no moral compass and no shits to give about those around them other than them fucking selves. Now, we actually have ourselves a bit of an interesting follow-up in regards to one of the sections here of this video, coming from Matthew Tam, the one that made the Pokemon Center Hall post with a lot of merchandise that you really didn't need to get. I'm gonna be honest with you, you really didn't need to get it, my guy. But anyways, he actually ends up saying the following, okay? Felt like after seeing some threats regarding my haul post, I wanted to address a few things. One, I did not break any limits. From what I can recall, all deck boxes were limit 5, sleeves limit 5, plushies limit 1, and playmats limit 1. I followed the guidelines of what Pokemon had in place. Even at the moment, I thought it was quite absurd the limit was 5, since previous events was 2, I believe. I'm gonna have something to say in response to all this, but for now, let's keep going. 2. Most of the deck boxes and sleeves are being brought back to my local crew. To be fully transparent, I am asking them for slightly above retail just to recoup some costs of time spent and luggage fees. I would never sell to my local at egregious prices. 3. There were posts regarding my Verbank sales for the ukulele and skateboard. To be fully transparent, my goal was to resell the ukulele and maybe keep the skateboard, but if a good offer is presented to me, why wouldn't I take it? I wanted to recoup some costs of the trip. Nothing I can say will please everyone, but what matters to me is that I'm getting something for my friends who weren't able to make it. It's a bit upsetting knowing the negative attraction this got, but I think the final straw for me are these physical threats. I don't mind the criticisms of me or the policy at PC, but I would like to enjoy my trip without being feared of being harmed. For my friends that reached out to check in on me, thank you. Don't worry, I'm all good. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. So first and foremost, I do not, repeat, do not ever advocate for any form of threats in any situation, unless of course you're a chomo, then you deserve to be put in the wood chipper. But this right here, I will say that if you are threatening someone's well-being, that right there is taking it way too far. However, at the same time, it really shouldn't be too shocking that you got such a negative reception because of what you posted and did. Now, as for my response in general to this response right here, I'm sorry, man, it doesn't cut it. You're still taking away from potential customers that could have gotten a piece of the action, but instead, you felt the need to get all of that stuff just to bring back to your local crew and resell it for an inflated price. Like, isn't that kind of like scalping in a way? Now granted, it's not eBay levels of scalping, but I mean, this right here isn't a good look either way, my dude. And what Derek here says pretty much hits the nail on the head. One, just because it's allowed doesn't mean it's right. You know that old saying, just because you could doesn't mean you should. 2, 1 item per friend is reasonable, not something like 5+ per unless it's mostly for you, in which case you're greedy. 3, I'm scalping the ukulele and I'll scalp the board too if the price is right. Now, a little point to ponder, I'm not going to get into disputing the authenticity of this response and the claims to go with it, but it kind of makes me wonder, is this actually true, or is this just a convincing cover-up story attempt to get some of the heat off? Because it's very easy to make the claim, oh, I'm just doing this for friends, I'm just doing this for friends, but really, like, how true is all of that, right? Again, I'm not going to sit here and dispute the authenticity of this claim, but I do at the same time have my suspicions about this. And this right here is the eBay post in question, $72.99 from the original retail price of said product being $12.99. That right there just makes my blood boil, and it should honestly make your blood boil too. Like any real Pokemon fan, no, anyone even with a moral compass would understand that shit like this is not okay. And it's really unfortunate that Pokemon fans have to deal with this type of bullshit whenever there's any type of big exclusive release when it comes to merchandise. Like, it's just so unfortunate that this is the world that we live in, and like I said at the start, this is why we can't have nice things. But anyways, guys, these right here are just my own thoughts, opinions, and observations on the subject discussed. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with my takes? Do you disagree with my takes? And what are your guys' thoughts overall on what we discussed here in this video? Regardless of what your thoughts and opinions happen to be, ladies and gentlemen, I always love to hear back from you amazing legends in the comments down below. And that's it for the video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your time as well in viewing this video. Have yourself a damn good one, you beautiful people. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Remember to always stay humble and avoid soying it up like a Wojak. I'll see you guys next time.